Well, 2020 has been a historic year in human history. A global pandemic shut down the world. It started in America with Donald Trump saying that it may be a hoax or alluding to that fact. Then a couple months later, totally shutting down the biggest economy in the world, the United States of America, and the other modern countries doing the same thing. And we went through a period of unrest, of medical crisis in some areas. And there was an ongoing debate on if it really was a hoax, if the numbers were overblown, if it was a political thing because we're in an election year, or was it a real health crisis? And the elections took place last week. And on Saturday, as I make this, on Saturday, Joe Biden was basically given the green light that he won the election. Okay. And he has been nominated as the president-elect. 48 hours later, the COVID vaccine was announced. So was it really a hoax? Guys, there's something to be said for that, okay? Now, I do not support Trump. I don't, because he is accountable for how he handled the coronavirus. And there is evidence to show us that there is something real. Herman Cain, a Republican, died of the virus. Donald Trump got sick and went to the hospital for the virus. So did Chris Christie. So there's no way Donald Trump would go to the hospital, and no way Herman Cain would die if there isn't something real. 200,000 Americans have died, many other people across the world. And so it's something real. Now, whether or not those numbers are overinflated, whether or not, again, every year I think 30,000 people or so die of the flu, whether it was as big as they said, or whether it was a level of a global political stunt, I don't know. It's probably somewhere in the middle. Okay. Now, I could still die from coronavirus tomorrow, so I don't want to belittle it. But basically, this is the next step of saying it's over. A week after the election, a vaccine comes out that Pfizer, the pharmaceutical company, made, saying that 90% approval rating, meaning it has a 90% effectiveness rating in keeping people immune. We don't know all the data on that because it's just a preliminary study. But I find it interesting, and it needs to be documented, that a week after elections, 48 hours after Joe Biden gets elected, a vaccine comes out. Now, to be fair, even during the presidential debates, Donald Trump said there are probably going to be a vaccine sometime in November or late this year. So that was factually known. So people knew that a vaccine was coming at the end of the year for just some high-risk people, senior citizens, and medical officers. And then into next year will be a mass release of it for those who want it. Now, the vaccine is not going to be the end of it per se, because not everyone is going to take it. It's not going to be mandated. It'd be very hard to do that. So we're going to be wearing face masks for a long time. Why? Well, because if everyone's not vaccinated, how can you go into a shared environment without wearing a mask? I mean, it would almost be like counterproductive to the cause. So I also want to share there's two different ways Donald Trump handled it versus Joe Biden. Donald Trump tweeted this morning that the stock market's up big. The stock market hit an all-time record high today. It was up 5%. I think it ended 3 or 4% up. But Dow almost at 30,000. So he tweeted, stock market up big, vaccine 90% effective, such great news. Joe Biden tweeted a screenshot of a 4-paragraph page, which says, I got great news that a vaccine study has been released showing very effective. We still need to be diligent and wear a face mask. We still need to take it serious. But this is the next basically step to going forward in bringing our country back to normal. And this will also put some people's mind at ease a little bit with regards to future shutdowns. Because look, guys, as we get closer to a vaccine, we get closer to the end one way or another. We get less likely to do shutdowns, less likely to have a medical overflow of our facilities. And so it just brings us back to the normalcy. And it shows two different styles of leadership. Donald Trump summarized it in one tweet, one sentence, very prompt, and he mentioned the stock market before he mentioned the healthcare issue. That's how he is. And Biden mentioned the healthcare crisis first and didn't even mention the stock market. So two different styles. One was still preaching, again, responsibility, still be diligent. But the bottom line is, and we're going to go to all live comments, I have to document the fact that it is ironic that in an election year this happened. It is ironic that the vaccine comes out 48 hours after Joe Biden gets elected. And I still think the right person won the election. Why? Because, again, Donald Trump chose to handle himself and lead the way he did. And people knew a vaccine was coming at the end of the year regardless. So all that was knowledge before the elections. So that doesn't change that fact, but it's something you have to be mindful of. Now, I fully believe that no matter what, there's powers to be way above Donald Trump, way above Joe Biden, that, to a level, control the strings to a certain level. Okay. But I also believe that, guys, they don't do a bad job per se. Why? Because if it wasn't for powers to be, we'd all be farmers. There'd be no Federal Reserve. There'd be no modern amenities. You wouldn't be watching me on YouTube. You'd be sitting there having sex with your cousin, herding cattle. So thank God for the Federal Reserve. Thank God for the powers to be. And thank God for the modern era. Now, with those blessings comes political games. And bottom line is, you may get caught in a political stunt, but you still get to decide how you behave. And that's bottom line. Okay. Upscale, what's up, brother? It is an interesting check and mate gameplay for both sides. I agree. A very good upscale. Yeah, I agree. Look, guys, I think Donald Trump, I didn't like him from the beginning, but when he got elected, I said, look, I just hope he does some good stuff and keeps the peace, relatively speaking. And he had moments even before the coronavirus. What was that thing in, I don't know if it was in the Carolinas or whatever, where that guy ran over the girl in the Dodge Charger. And, I was like, but bottom line is, look, I'm not a fan of Trump. I'm not a fan of his style of leadership. I'm not a fan of his recurring record in business prior to being a president or in his personal life. I think he's entertaining. I think he has some value. I think America did need to go through a season where we had direct talk, but I think it's a difference between having direct talk and having the country run like an episode of The Apprentice, because it's harmful to society to live like that. It's unsustainable, just like the Taj Mahal. It's nice to see, but it's unsustainable long-term. Gangsta Talk, $5 super chat. Thank you, brother Sam. Times Square blew up on Saturday with celebration for Biden-Harris. People happy. It was like a giant block party. I wish you would have been. Well, I've been in Times Square before the coronavirus. I haven't been there probably in about 3 years in Times Square. But I've been there plenty of times. There was a Puerto Rican girl I knew there. She used to wear body paint all over her body. She'd walk around Times Square nude taking pictures with people. So what I can tell you is this. New York City's back. Every urban area that has congestion, guys, you're back. Why? Because in a year, people be back in football stadiums, this and this and that. Vaccine out there. Now, am I happy that Joe Biden won? Joe Biden saved America. Guys, vaccine, Joe Biden saved America. But no, it's a good thing. Look, the country's healing. And the country needed to heal. And is it a little bit political? Yes. But is it a little bit of no one made Donald Trump behave the way he did? Yes. And guys, I would never want to live with someone like Donald Trump. I would never put my business in charge. I would never hire someone like Donald Trump. I would. Why? Because not only, even if he can make me a profit, I believe in making a profit. I believe in business. But at a certain point, I believe in, you have to treat people with a level of decency when you're in charge of them. If you're just an entertainer, if you're just doing like a YouTube, or if you're just doing like the show The Apprentice, look, you can do what you want. People get to choose if they tune in. But when everyone in the country needs you, because your job is to look over everyone in the country, you can't be as free with who you have to be more, you have to pull back a little bit and have empathy and think about other people because that's your job. Okay. When it's your job to entertain, that's, you don't have to think about everyone else. It's your job to put on a show. Okay. So that's the difference. And but either way, look, I'm grateful that we're almost out of this coronavirus. I do not believe in shutdowns. And that's one thing I am concerned. I was concerned, still have a little bit with Joe Biden, because guys, only if it's a huge emergency. I think more harm than good came from shutting the country down for a month and a half in America. I really do. So I would not support that, unless there was overwhelming data and the hospitals were overwhelmed, obviously, yes. But outside of that, social distancing, masks, all that stuff, sanitation, and if there's a outbreak that's causing harm, then fine. But, like I say, most people who get infected don't even get sick. Then most people who get sick don't even go to the hospital. Then those who go to the hospital most survive. Less than 1% of Americans have died. However, Herman Cain died. However, Donald Trump had to go to the hospital. So did Chris Christie. So there's something out there. It's not a hoax. However, to be fair, the vaccine comes out a week after the election. Hoax. Okay. So it's a double-edged thing. Okay. Let's go. Damn. Near every tweet he makes is flagged for misinformation. Yeah, look, he went down the road of Alex Jones. Alex Jones knew, even though he may have some truth, he was just being over flamboyant to be entertaining. And because of his paranoia, Alex Jones got sued by the parents of Sandy Hook. Sandy Hook was a school shooting in America a few years ago. And some people believed, just like some people believe the coronavirus is a hoax, some people believe Sandy Hook was a hoax and the children didn't really die. Those were actors. And so Alex Jones fed into that conspiracy theory. Like some people fed into the conspiracy theory that Barack Obama was, not born in America. So what happened was he allowed his viewers, and for his own interest, because he makes money the more viewers, he allowed to feed into that conspiracy. And he didn't balance it enough. And so the parents of the dead children sued him and showed evidence that one is their children's dead. I wasn't in the courtroom, but this is obviously public knowledge. Look it up. And that, Alex's inflammatory remarks and tweets and show was causing death threats because people were thinking that they were making this up and then causing, like gun right issues. And so when Alex Jones was in a court of law, you can look it up, this is fact, he blamed his audience for having severe paranoia, feeding him paranoia, and saying that he was just an entertainer and, he's not responsible for anything else. So when push comes to shove, even Alex Jones will say, look, I'm just making this up basically. But I'm not saying that you shouldn't have healthy debate. But what Donald Trump and Alex Jones do goes beyond healthy debate. It crosses a boundary. It crosses a level of information to misinformation. Now you go down a dangerous road where you don't hear opposite sides and you don't have debate. You need debate, okay? Because Joe Biden's not God, Barack Obama's not God, Donald Trump's not God. You need debate, okay? But you gotta have, everyone's trying to get their point across and be persuasive. So there is no absolute truth, okay? But through a level of debate and open conversation, you can get there. But it's very hard to do that, even me. Like, I block a lot of Trumpers, or I have. Why? Because I don't have that much energy to go back and forth, especially after I see they're at a certain point. But I'm not saying they're wrong in everything. I'm just saying I don't want to fuck with them. So why? Because I'm not the president. Guys, I'm a YouTuber. And all I'm trying to do is live a peaceful life, talk about politics a little bit, speak my mind. But I also share that, look, guys, these are my opinions. Some of this is fact. Some of this is opinion. And, look, everyone has to figure out what they want to do. This is good news. Yeah, no more lockdowns. For us nomads traveling, I'm happy. You should be happy. Gail, get down to Florida in a couple weeks. I think Thanksgiving when, people have off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's a good long weekend of travel. Hurricane season officially ends in the end of November. But I love Florida. Guys, the storm passed today. I am thankful I am in Florida. I'm thankful that I didn't turn back to New Jersey, even though I miss my mom, even though it's still sad. You're still going to be sad when you leave Boston, Gail. But let me tell you something. If you stay up there when it's too cold, or if you go back and it's cold, remember last year, Gail. Remember that. Why? Because I remember what it was like to be obese and not tie my shoes. That keeps me from going back into unhealthy eating. I remember what it was like to live winters in New Jersey, and even though I love my mom, if I'm living somewhere where I don't want to live and I'm just being with her, I'm resentful and I'm not the best son I can be. You have to remember the pain in order to go forward. You have to remember how painful it was definitely this past year and somewhat the past 4 years, so that you know that, look, yes, we need direct talk. We don't just need political pandering, but we also need a level of civility. Why? Because if it goes too abrupt, it's toxic, and that matters. Unhealthy conversation matters. Unhealthy relationships matter. Because, guys, if not for that, it doesn't matter how low the unemployment rate is. When you don't have dignity, when you don't have civility, all you have is money. And look, guys, I like money. I like independence. But I'll tell you right now, guys, I mean, there's a reason I cut out of my father. There's a reason I walked away from an inheritance, because it's unhealthy. So I will walk away from money to a certain point. Why? Because, guys, if you're staying with someone, if you're staying in a marriage just for money, you lost your soul and you know it, okay? If you're staying in a toxic drug addiction house, because you need them to pay the rent, you're fucked and you know it. Doesn't matter who's in office, Joe Biden or Donald Trump. You know what I mean? So what I tell you to do is get subsidized housing if you need it, live below your means, live as a nomad if you need it, but never go back to a toxic relationship. Why? Because you might as well be dead, okay? That matters, okay? It does matter. Let's take a hydration break. Love you, Upscale, thank you. Gangster Talk, thank you. Gail, thank you. Gratitude to all my members, appreciation and gratitude. Never forget to show gratitude. As independent as you are, along your journey, you still need people to support you, give you opportunity. Never forget it. However, never forget you don't owe anyone your soul. Okay, you have to do what you have to do for you. There's a balance there. Okay, there's a balance. And it's not easy at times, but those who love you will give you the space to figure out your balance. Okay, and that's guys, I practice what I preach. This is the real life. Okay, so what I can tell you is this, guys, we are one step closer to going back to normal. Now, here's the bad news. Okay, before the coronavirus, a lot of you guys were living a shitty life, and girls. Before the coronavirus, you guys weren't working, and I pushed back on a lot of people. Said because of the coronavirus, I'm getting evicted. Well, guys, were you working before the coronavirus? If you weren't working before the coronavirus and you weren't eating healthy before the coronavirus, guys, it's not the coronavirus, it's not Donald Trump that caused your problem, it's you. And so while I do believe in leadership and a healthy environment, if you get away from a drug addict boyfriend, but you don't do the work of your life, now you're still going to be fucked, okay? So there's two parts of a healthy life. Separate from unhealthy people, separate from toxic people, and self-care, that's the second part. Self-care, self-accountability is the only way to growth, okay? So you got to have both parts. So my man Stretch, hard-working, positive attitude, future president Stretch, working 2 jobs. One job is at Home Depot for all you psychopaths renovating your second wife's kitchen. May you burn in hell, but on your way to hell, may you stop by Home Depot so Stretch can keep getting promoted. And his second job is Planet Fitness, the favorite nomad gym. Why? Because it's cheap, it's open 24/7, and there's so many throughout the country. So Stretch is making $18 an hour at Planet Fitness. A lot of you guys say there's no jobs. Guys, go work at Planet Fitness for $18 an hour. And work at Home Depot and watch all the psychopaths come in there losing their soul, renovating their kitchens. Now, you guys aren't going to burn in hell, but look, when you renovate a kitchen, you don't need me to tell you you're going to burn in hell. I've renovated kitchens. I know I burned in hell. I lost some of my soul underneath a sink. Why? Because a renovation ruins your life. You say, Sam, what should I do? Should I renovate my kitchen or sell my house? I say, sell your house. Sell it for $20,000 less. Why? Because that renovation will destroy your soul, destroy your relationship, destroy your sex, destroy your self-care, destroy your life. You're going to die under a sink putting in a drain trap. That's the truth. You're going to die with 2 channel locks in your hand. You're going to have 2 channel locks in your hand, and she's going to say, oh, can I help you with something? Shut the fuck up. That's what happens. Fred, love to you, man. Fred, the vaccine's here. Joe Biden saved the world. Okay? A week after the election, 48 hours after Joe Biden was basically given the election, a vaccine came out. We're going back to normal. Now, was that a hoax? Well, there's something a little fishy about that timing. I'm not going to lie. Let's go. I'm definitely seeing more nomads around Broward. Well, we're getting ready to snowbird season. If that vaccine comes, I don't know if the Canadians are going to get down here this winter, but once the vaccine comes, that means Canadians are coming back down to Florida. Europeans with their Speedos, they coming back down to Broward County on the beach. So what I can tell you is, guys, look, I don't care because I'm a full-time Floridian. I'm only leaving Florida in the fall. Or unless there's an emergency. I always live my option, but I love Florida. Okay. So what I can tell you is Florida for the win. I'm so grateful for the great state of Florida. And I'm grateful too that, guys, I have to be fair. I'm grateful that we have a Republican governor. Why? Because the showers are open in Planet Fitness. Okay. And I like that. Now you say, Sam, if you get the coronavirus, you're going to end up like Herman Cain. Well, guys, I wear a mask, but that's a fair point. So while, like Joe Biden says, still got to be diligent, but at the same time, guys, if Trump survived the coronavirus, a lot of people can, but I don't know. But I have to be fair. Like, guys, I can still get sick and die. I am not prideful in that. But I think there's a balance. And I think that, it's a tough balance. It's a tough call. There's no exact science. Upscale. I'm definitely seeing more nomads around Broward. And I am glad people keep it moving around town. There are a lot of us out there. And Morning Vid is the main reason why. The morning video. Thank you, Upscale. Upscale lives full-time in its Class C in South Florida. I've been living as a nomad for 4 years. I love the lifestyle. And even though I do look at home bases and RVs, and eventually that may come, I will never buy a single-family house. Why? I love the nomad lifestyle. I saw someone today in a beautiful road track 190 Popular parked right on the beach. I like the road track. I'm just not ready to give up a regular vehicle yet. Why? Like I always say, I wanted the ability to DoorDash, Uber, Instacart. Why? Because the more side hustles I have, the more I control my life. And if I get laid off, I have more control. I want more control. As I get older, I'm going to get more comfort. But I still like the Prius. I still like the hybrids. I still like the current vehicle you have. Why? Because the nomad life is about living life more on your terms. And never forget it. It's not about an RV. It's about living life on your terms. Because I know plenty of people that bought an RV and all they do is look at it, okay? And they don't live it. And so what I can tell you is this, guys, if you got a hot wife but you don't have sex with her, what good is it, okay? So bottom line is, if you're going to renovate a kitchen and some other guy's going to fuck your wife, you might as well not renovate the kitchen and just be single. So what I'll tell you is this, man. I've seen it happen. Let's take a hydration break. Yeah, I'll never renovate a kitchen again. Fred, that's my brother. I appreciate you. Fred, I made it to Florida, man. Fred, I love Florida. Fred, you're in NYC, Brooklyn. And what I can tell you is Brooklyn's back. Why? You got the vaccine. Okay. So the Nets basketball games are back. Madison Square Garden's back. Okay. Now, not yet, but one step closer. Joe Biden saved the world. Hey, everyone. Hope everyone's weekend was good. Joe Biden saved the world, man. Fred, dude, Biden turned Arizona and Georgia blue, baby. Well, it's still in the recount. But I know this. Guys, 48 hours after Joe Biden got elected, vaccine announced, stock market all-time high. Now, Trump did say Biden would kill the market. But that's still to be determined. And I will say this. I will not just solely promote the rising of the stock market without accountability, because I spoke against Trump when he would constantly boast that the stock market's up. But I do feel that there is a gap between the stock market and most of American citizens. Why? Because factually, 50%, half of Americans own no stock, have no 401k. Okay. So until you have profit sharing, until you have a dividend like Alaska, where they get a percentage of revenues, all citizens, that's when you're going to feel like you're in the game. Now, the American taxpayers subsidized the stock market this year. We went into $4 trillion worth of debt to back the bond market, the airline companies, the cruise airlines, etc. So if the taxpayer backed them, we got to get the blessing. Why? Because it's only fair, and that's how you unite the country. When everyone feels like they have equity in the stock market, okay? Not just the big dogs, okay? So what I can tell you is this, guys. Just like Alaska, the oil companies drill oil. They destroyed Mother Earth. But in return, each Alaskan citizen gets about a $2,000 a year check from the profits. Now, that's not much, but it's enough to overlook the fact that oil companies are drilling the shit out of our natural land. So you say, Inspirational Nomad, how much are we going to get shared profit from the stock market? Well, let's say 10% and negotiate from there. Now, even if you end up with a few $1,000s each year, it's better than nothing. And guys, if they're going to outsource their jobs, if they're going to cut headcount, the least you can do is get a profit. And for all my capitalists out there, you know, like I know, stimulus means higher stock market. Why? Because poor people spend money. Middle class people spend money. 80% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. So guys, the more money you give poor and middle class, the more they spend at Walmart. The higher upgrade RV they get, the newer car they get. That means Edith sells more cars. That means Gail buys more cars. That means Stretch sells more lumber for bigger houses. So guys, look, you can have your cake and eat it too when you print money. Okay, and that's what we've been doing for the past 50 some odd years. Okay, so what I could tell you is this, guys. Eventually, will everything explode? Well, guys, until it does, you should get a piece of the pie because it's going to explode anyway. We already have unsustainable debt levels. So don't give me the argument that the debt levels are too high. We've been had that, okay? And we keep going further and further in debt, and you still ain't getting a profit share. So, guys, look, you can still day trade. You can still have index funds, but you're also going to get a profit, shared profit, a dividend from the stock market every quarter. Minimum $1,000 a quarter, but I want to tie it to 10% of revenues from each company. That's what I want to do. Not of their profits, of their revenues. Why? Because a lot of companies hide their bottom line profits, but they don't want to hide their revenues, because if you hide your revenues, your stock goes down. They don't want to do that. So you got to tax the revenue, not the profit. Never forget it. Make a mental note. Guys, if I die and Stretch or Fred, if one of you guys are the president, you don't want to put a dividend tax on the profits. You want to put a dividend tax on the revenue. Why? Because companies hide net profit, okay? But they can't hide revenue because revenue is a driver of their stock price. Never forget it, okay? Let's take a hydration break. If I die, guys, you have to do a 50-50 raffle of my money in my accounts. And I want to be cremated in my ashes in the Atlantic Ocean. Why am I telling you guys? I got no kids. I got my mom. That's about it. So you guys are my last will and testament. Okay. So, how they do the free giveaways for all the YouTubers trying to pander to get more people? I don't do that shit. But if I die, you guys can do like a free giveaway, like raffle off whoever, out of all my members, just raffle off. See who's going to get my inheritance. Okay. So, I believe in giving back when I'm dead. Okay. Stretch, golden nuggets, guys. I gave you a lot better than McDonald's nuggets. I gave you some golden nuggets. Now, Golden Nuggets was a casino in Atlantic City that went bankrupt, got rebought. The Golden Nugget in Atlantic City is the old Trump Marina. The Trump Marina went bankrupt. Look it up, okay? The Trump Marina is now the Golden Nugget. Look it up. Why? Because Trump went bankrupt and someone bought its rights. Upscale. I'm definitely seeing more nomads. Oh, I read this right. Fred, I read that too. Fred, dude, Biden. Oh, yeah, I read that too. Stress laughing good. Fred, the market went up because we had a winner. The market doesn't like uncertainty. Well, they like a vaccine. They do like certainty. They do like civility, but it'll go up and it'll go down. Now, look, if we get a vaccine and we go back to normal, what's going to happen is the Federal Reserve is going to raise the interest rates. The Federal Reserve lowers the interest rate so people will borrow more money and stimulate and circulate it in the economy. When inflation is high, and we already got high inflation. Look at the food price. Look at the RV price. Look at the home prices. Inflation's high. So if we go back to normal, the Federal Reserve is going to have pressure to higher the interest rate. Right now it's at 0. So they're going to raise the interest rate. That's going to cause the market to come down. So guys, it's a thin balance, okay, between You want the economy to go forward, but you want it to be sustainable. If it goes high too quick, what you have is a bubble, and then you have to higher the interest rate so it comes down a little bit. You got it, or else inflation gets out of control. You got to balance it. Okay, so remember, as the Federal Reserve giveth, it taketh away. So remember, you want sustainability, and you don't want to brag if you voted for Biden about the stock market until you get Biden to tie it to profit sharing for the citizens of the country, because there's going to be a wealth gap that continues to grow in this country until each citizen gets a dividend from the stock market, okay? And I dated a hot Asian MILF that worked for an airline. And what I can tell you is she got a profit share from her airline. And what I can tell you guys, if the private companies can do it, and we just subsidize that airline, okay? So what I can tell you, and we can figure this out, guys. We get fucking Jamie Dimon in the room, get a couple smart people in the room, get me in the room. I'll figure this out, okay? And what I can tell you is, guys, we're back to normal. Joe Biden saved America. Joe Biden saved the world. Let's continue to read. Tony, what's up, man? Shout out to Maryland. Tony, you're back. Get your saxophone. Don't go back to your group members, and it's time for indoor concerts. Why? We got a vaccine. Pfizer came out with the vaccine today, brother. 90% effective. You say inspirational nomad. What if I'm the 10% that ends up like Herman Cain? Well, we're all taking risks in life, guys. It's a disaster out here. But I tell you this, guys, I mean, it's a balance. I mean, don't go giving people a hug, but it's time to play your saxophone again. Tony, Sammy, had a bad day, brother. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I empathize with you because I know how that is. I had a bad day yesterday. Some jackals, stole my van. I got it back, but all my saxophones are gone. Thank God for insurance. Praise the Lord for insurance. Damn, Tony. I'm sorry, brother. I don't know what to say, man. That's bad news, but I'm thankful that you shared it and you at least got it off your chest. I'm thankful that you have insurance and made that insurance claim go quickly and you get everything and get a better saxophone than before. And I love you, Tony. You're a good man. Yeah, it sucks, man. My heart goes out when you have something stolen. I remember I had my bike stolen when I was young. Your heart drops. It's a disaster. All I can tell you, brother, is just keep fighting one day at a time, man. Tomorrow, hopefully it gets better. And you'll get something better. That's all I can say, man. I love you, brother. Fred, sorry to hear that. Me too. He had renter's insurance, right? Question mark. Tony, shoot. Let me get another check. Yeah. I'm buying a custom sax. See? When you lose something, you get something better. If you lose your sunglasses, you'll buy a better one. Whatever you lose, you'll get something better. But in between that will be the pain. And I don't wish pain on anyone. Okay, that's true. Even though, to be fair, not to be a hypocrite, I kind of wish maybe Trump would die when he got the coronavirus. I got to be fair. Because, guys, I don't want to act like I'm on my high horse. Because that's why Hillary Clinton lost. But am I glad that Trump didn't die? Well, look, guys, I mean, I kind of say that a little bit joking, a little bit serious. But I know that's wrong to say that. So I don't, but it's a real emotion I had. Because it's like just get the fuck out of here already. But it's not right to say that, but that's true. Let's continue. Upscale. YouTube is about to change. And I don't know. Camo Dave was mentioning it and didn't disclose what change was. Do you know? No, I don't, but I know they've changed over the years. They changed their criteria for monetization. At one time I was monetized, then all my channel got demonetized because you had to have 1,000 subscribers. And I only had like 700 at that time. So I lost monetization for like 4 months. And then I eventually got 1,000 subscribers. I got remonetized. So YouTube can change at any time. And I think Camo Dave mentioned me in a video today. Shout out to him. But what I can tell you is this, guys. YouTube is a side hustle. Just like a main job, you can get laid off. And just like anything else, YouTube can stop giving you money. Now, I like YouTube for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's a side hustle. Number 1. Number 2 is, guys, this is, at the end of the day, I can share, we can have fun, and it fulfills a social need without too much commitment. Now, to be honest, if YouTube didn't pay money, would I still upload videos? Probably not. Why? Because I don't have a Facebook, I don't have an Instagram. Why? Because I'm done with that. I don't want to like go online, share my privacy, sacrifice my life, and just not get compensated. That's the next thing we're gonna do. Anytime you're on social media, whether you're watching a YouTube video or whether you're creating one, whether you're doing a Facebook post or comment, you should get some level of revenue. Why? Because you are making these social media companies money just by being on the platform. So they're still going to make billions, but they should get everyone at least a little. Now, the people who put more effort into it and they create, obviously they're going to make a higher percentage, but everyone should get a level of percentage. Why? Because, guys, when everyone feels like they're part of the game, it makes the game better. Okay, it's all a game, guys. So I agree with that. I don't know, though, Upscale. Good question. Shout out to Camo Dave. Thank you for mentioning me. Tony, Fred, I'm a musician in a union. We have insurance in case of crappy things like this happen. There you go, brother. Fred, if Biden turns the pandemic around and we all go back to normal lives, he'll get reelected in 2024. Well, if he doesn't die by then. But, yeah, look, guys, he's got a long 4 years, though, okay? So hold him accountable. And if Biden does a shitty job, vote a Republican in. Why? Because, guys, don't just give a green light to anyone. Let them earn their keep. And, it's all a game. I truly believe, like, guys, it's just like the WWF wrestling. However, it does matter. President Bush mattered. He was different. I totally didn't like his style. I liked it better under Obama. I didn't like it under Trump. So, but I understand some conservative principles, even though I tend not to vote that way, that I agree with. So it does matter who's the president, but at the same time, don't just give them a pass. So Biden's got to do more than be civil, okay? He's got to keep the economy going forward. He's got to keep a level of peace, not only in America, but in the world. And he's got to develop, a good policy to keep the country keeping its liberties at the same time progressively moving forward. So, it's like, that's how you always got to look at it. But keep living your life. I told you guys during the pandemic, when I was locked down and I traveled back up to New Jersey and when I traveled back down to Florida, don't stop living your life because of a politician or because of a world issue. I didn't. Now, you have to respect the laws. I still and always did follow all the laws of the land, okay? But you still have to live your life. Like I said, if you guys are waiting for Joe Biden to create this great world, guys, you're going to die before Joe Biden, okay? So, keep living your life. Remember, there's two parts of a good life. You have to separate from the toxic person, and you have to hold yourself accountable to do the work of your own life. Good job. Sweat my ass off. I'm in Florida. I like being in Florida. It's true. Let's take a hydration break. I'm hot, guys. Yeah, we're back. Tropical storm's over. Click that thumbs up. Thank you to all my members. You want to be a member, click the blue join button. If you don't, just sit and lurk. Tony, Sammy, I got you, brother. I'll do it for Uber. Keep doing your thing, brother. Keep playing that sax, man. Got to keep your creativity juices flowing. Fred, that's good, Tony. I'm glad you will be able to replace your instrument. Your creativity and staying productive is key to your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health, and your financial health. If you are idle, there is no program that Joe Biden can put in place to make your life better. If you don't do something, if you're not productive, if you're not trying to take care of yourself, guys and girls, life will suck no matter what, okay? You have to do it with a blister on your toe. I just recovered from my blister. Thank you for praying for me. You have to do it in the middle of a tropical storm. I went live yesterday, even in a tropical storm. You have to travel, even in the pandemic. I did it. I followed all the laws. You have to go for a walk, even when all the gyms are shut down. You have to go take a shower in a hour-away truck stop, even when there's no place to shower. You have to do things when they're imperfect. Why? Because if a farmer waits for the perfect conditions, he never gets anything done. That's in the scripture. So what I can tell you is this, guys, if you're unwilling, okay, to go for a walk with Dookie stain underwear, guys, you're going to have the cleanest ass on a sectional couch you ever had. And that sectional couch might as well be a coffin. Because you're watching me, okay, while you're boiling a pot of spaghetti. And what I can tell you is this, guys, that's not good, okay? I want you to go for a walk. I want you to turn that pot of spaghetti off. I want you to cancel that DoorDash order. Well, don't cancel that because I know a lot of people still work DoorDash. But I want you to go for a walk tonight, okay? Because it's not that cold if you're up north. I walked in a blizzard. And if you're down in Florida, guys, you know it's perfect. Okay. So what I can tell you is if you're unwilling to go for a walk, it doesn't matter that we got the vaccine. It doesn't matter that Joe Biden's in office. Because if you're unwilling to go for a walk tonight, you're unwilling to do the work of your life, the self-care of your life. And what I could tell you is this, guys, that's the ultimate virus. Idleness, lack of productivity, waiting for the perfect conditions. These things are the killer virus. Okay. Idle time is the devil's playground. One of my members put a devil emoji in there. Okay. And then put a guy walking with an angel emoji in there. Big difference. Good job. All right, let's continue. We're in Florida night. Yeah. You can always tell when you're in Florida, yeah, I'm happier. You're more happy. I'm feeling good. Damn, it's that vitamin D. Okay. And that's why a lot of people die from the coronavirus. They don't got the vitamin D. Guys, you got to get that vitamin D. You got to be sweating. You got to be juiced up. And you got to be around palm trees. You got to be around tropical smoothies. You got to be around Latino MILFs. You say inspirational nomad. What's the difference between Florida and Arizona? Jennifer Lopez versus Bob Wells. The desert versus tropical paradise, okay? What's the difference between South Carolina and South Florida? Poverty versus luxury. Because what I can tell you is this, if you woke up and you're in South Carolina, other than Hilton Head and Beaufort and other areas where Northerners come and buy retirement homes, if you're west of I-95 in South Carolina, you might as well be in destitute land. And what I can tell you is this, guys, pack your shit and go. Because I can tell you this, we got our man Free Spirit. He left South Carolina. He moved to San Antonio, Texas. And what he did, he found a better job. What I can tell you is this, guys, you can't get an apple from an orange tree. And I know because I'm in Florida, home of the orange tree. And what does that mean? That means you can't change your environment. You can only change yourself and then change your environment. So it matters if you live in New Jersey versus Florida. Okay, it matters if you live with a drug addict versus by yourself. But you got to do the work of your life. Edith, you're about to sell a lot more cars. Why? We got the vaccine. Okay, Joe Biden saved the world. So what I can tell you is this, Edith. You no longer have to go to see Bob from the service department, okay, and beg him to give you a deal on something to keep your customers happy. Why? Because now you're going to have overflow of customers. But Edith, I want to tell you this. You must have your ears ringing today. Why? Because I found myself in the home of the destitute people, the poor people. I was in a line in Dunkin' Donuts. It's true. And I saw you laughing at me from heaven. You say, inspirational nomad, what the fuck were you doing in Dunkin' Donuts? Well, because of the tropical storm, all the Starbucks closed down last night till 11 a.m. this morning. And I checked with all the Starbucks. I went to a couple different ones. I called Our Way Starbucks. They all closed down. So I found myself in a dilemma. I said, there's no coffee. So I said, oh, shit. You know what you got to do, inspirational nomad. I said, fuck. So I drove where all the poor people drive in the morning, Dunkin' Donuts. And I found myself in line waiting. And I finally got to place my order. So I take a small coffee with bagel with butter. And I like a glass of water, please. And I got to the thing. Okay. And they gave me my coffee, which didn't taste too good. Tastes like mud water. And they gave me my bagel. It had so much butter on it. Okay. It was like I ate a gallon of cholesterol. In Starbucks, they give you a little cubicle of butter on the side because they know rich people want to put a limited amount of butter because they don't want to die. They got money to spend. But poor people, you might as well put all the damn butter in the world because they don't care. They don't got no money. They put so much damn butter on this bagel, I couldn't believe it. And they forgot to give me my spring water. I drove away and I said, oh, shit. This is what poor people go through every day in Dunkin' Donuts. Okay. So you say inspirational nomad, you should not mock the poor. Well, guys, I'm living in my car. Okay. You guys are living in an apartment and a house. You guys are living way wealthier than me. And what I can tell you is the guy from Fox News was right. Look, we voted Joe Biden in because we want to make everyone drink Starbucks. Okay. That is the liberal globalist plan. We're going to eliminate every Dunkin' Donuts. I'm sorry to say it's true. And we're going to marry robots. It's true. Alex Jones was right about that. So what I could tell you is this, guys. If you ever catch yourself in Dunkin' Donuts, you're going to die of cholesterol and you ain't going to have free water. Why? Because, guys, it's low quality. I hate to say it. But, Edith, you're going to sell a lot of cars. We got the vaccine. I love you, Edith. Lord, never let me go back in Dunkin' Donuts. It was a disaster today. I pray for everyone. Whew. Where are we at? Tony. Yo, Sammy. Oh, I read that. Fred. That's good, Tony. I'm glad you will be able to replace your instrument. Amen. Me too. Gail. Oh, I read this already. Fred. Sam. Why ain't you butt naked? I'm damn near butt naked. Look, I'm sweating I got this a wet t-shirt contest. All you gay transgenders, guys, look, you can get married now and you can watch me in a wet t-shirt concert, okay? Guys, my membership should be going up, okay? Because what I can tell you is this, guys. Joe Biden saved the world, okay? 48 hours after election, vaccines here, coronavirus over, man. Now, we can still die, though, like Joe Biden said, wear your mask. Because, guys, I don't want to make fun of the fact that it's still a serious thing out there. But there's irony in the fact that 48 hours after election, there's a vaccine. It's a little bit ironic, you gotta admit. Yeah, you gotta admit. Y'all saw my ass on, man. I like this, though. Guys, what's life if you're not sweating? Guys, if you're not sweating, your body is demanding to be used. And you got all that anxiety, you got all that dryness, like your Bob Wells in the desert, begging poor people to come out there so you can preach the gospel. But what I can tell you is this, Bob Wells had to cancel the RTR. Why? Because the vaccine hadn't come out. But now that we got the vaccine, you can migrate to the middle of the desert, okay? And you can have Bob Wells tell you how to take a shower in the middle of nowhere, okay? Okay, how to pee in a jug. This is my problem with Bob Wells, okay? Every interview, okay, he asked them, I hate to ask this question, but I gotta know, where do you go to the bathroom? Bob, we already know they pee in a jug. I want you to start asking them, where do they masturbate, okay? Because that's what I want to know, okay? That's what the people want to. We don't want to know that they pee in a jug. And I saw you had that one psychopath girl on there. Guys, where do you go when you don't want to work and you're a destitute woman? You beg Bob Wells to give you a starring role in one of his videos. Why? Because Bob Wells a pimp, man, okay? And I'm telling you right now, Bob Wells banging out all the dry chicks, okay? And I'll tell you this, guys, I don't play that game, guys, because I blocked a lot of women that wanted to get with me. Some women invited me to boondock in their house, but I refused. Why? Because I know it's favor for a favor. I know if I park in your driveway for free, yes, I won't have to deal with Hurricane Ida, but I'll have to eat your coochie. And I'm not doing it because my tongue is not for sale. And I'll tell you right now, you think it's funny, but I know, even the liberal women. Yep, there's some liberal women, okay? They want universal basic income, and they want me to bang them from the back, okay? And that's the price I'd have to pay if I do free boondocking at their house. And I'll tell you this, guys, I'll never do a meet and greet, okay? I'll tell you this, I'll die in my car, thrown away in a hurricane before I free boondock at some old lady's house that wants to get with me. Now, I love my old women. I love my big women. I love my beautiful women. But I wouldn't get with Jennifer Lopez. Why? She's been divorced 3 times. Guys, she put Anthony Martin through hell. So what I can tell you is this, guys, I'm single for life, okay? With or without the vaccine, okay? No kids, I'm staying single, okay? And what I can tell you is this, guys, I pray 2 things. I pray, okay, that we go forward as a country and healing comes to this nation, and I never have to go back to Dunkin' Donuts. Why? Because, guys, I went today and I said, oh, this is why I left New Jersey. Okay. All right, let's stay hydrated. It's hot. Keeping all the psychopaths entertained. Where are we at? Tony, I read that. Oh, no, I didn't read that. What up? No. Yep, me too. I've had 2 of those saxophones for more than 10 years. I'll find them. Baltimore ain't that big. Okay. Well, no, don't find them. If you're going to get the insurance money, don't go running up on someone and say you got my saxophone. And you're never going to know who has it. I remember someone stole a necklace of mine when I was young. And I went banging on people's doors. I was ready to see like, why you take my shit? And the person I thought I took it didn't take it. It was some other guy. Okay. And I didn't find out till years later. But even though I confronted some people, it never ended up because they said, look, I looked around and it was the person I didn't even know took it. Okay. And thank God. Well, one is it humbled me to show me that you never know who the guilty party is until you have a lot of evidence. Okay. And the second thing it taught me was God will have the final say, because the guy who took my chain, he ended up having his arm blow off playing with fireworks. Okay. And I don't know, I don't know why God makes Dunkin' Donuts, but I know, you fuck around, you take from God's children, you're going to get fucked up. Now, could my arm blow off, God forbid? I'm sure, but I'm not out there stealing people's shit. Okay. So I mind my business. I try not to hurt people. And what I can tell you is this, look, let it go is what I'm trying to tell you. Don't accuse people. Get your insurance money and let the Lord handle the rest. That's my message. Stretch, the yacht club is growing. Well, I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate you. My goal is to have 10% of my subscribers be members. That will make my channel sustainable as a serious supplemental thing. But, so I have about 13,000 subscribers, just less. So if I had 1,300 members, that would be awesome. And just keep a 10% ratio. But my initial goal is just to get to 1%. So 1% of 13,000 is about 130. So if I can get 130 members, guys, that would be a great goal. Now, am I anywhere close there? No. Am I better than where I started? Yeah. May it take me a few years? Yeah. Guys, you got to build over time, but I have my goals. 1% goal initially, and then way down the road 10, but 1% is good enough for me if I can get there. Right now, we're about a quarter of a way there, less than that, but I'm thankful for every member. And if it doesn't work out, guys, I don't have all my eggs in one basket. Why? Because, guys, when Easter comes, everyone hides the eggs, so things change. Fred, you are very happy, Sam. I'm doing the best I can. Yesterday, I was sad, though. I can see the change, well, I appreciate that. But I also make videos like I made last night that I was sad, I was lonely. In one sense, I wanted to go back to New Jersey. I was in a storm. I make videos for you guys, not just for the side hustle, that's part of it. And not just for the entertainment, that's part of it. But also, I show you and I tell you guys real emotions. I'm not always happy. I'm not always enjoying it, but I'm always showing up. I'm always pushing forward, okay? And so, even if you disagree with everything I say politically, philosophically, at the end of the day, one of the core things that I'll leave this channel as, I showed up every day as long as I was physically able, okay? I uploaded daily. I interacted. I engaged with every person, whether they were a member or non-member, in the comment section or in the live feed, at probably the highest level of even the smallest YouTube channel, okay? And I gave it all. I sweated my ass off. I didn't leave anything on the table, okay? And it was, for the most part, sincere. Is there a little bit flamboyancy to it? Of course. But it's not a show. I don't have like a teleprompter up. I mean, I got my laptop up to block people, but with members only, I'm like this. I don't even got to look. Why? Because, guys, unless they give me a fake super chat, which it has happened, other than that, guys, trolls are never getting back in here. Now, will there always be trolls? Sure, they're still going to watch. But, guys, look, I cut people out of my life. Why? Because there's two parts to a good life. Cut out the unhealthy relationships, and then do the work of your life. And that's what I did, in real life and online. Good job. Tony. Where was that? Tony, I've still got my guitars. I'll be okay. Tony, I started doing well, and you know the devil hates that. Yeah, it's tough, man. I don't understand God, the devil, the whole thing sometimes. I just keep the faith, like Joe Biden's top Twitter thing says. Keep the faith. I like that. Upscale. The guy that ripped the sorting machines out of the post office should be prosecuted. I didn't see that, Upscale. I don't know that news story, so I couldn't really comment on it. So I don't know that. Fred, do you think the Secret Service will physically remove Trump out of the White House? No, I don't think it'll come to that. Look, I think Donald Trump is relieved. I think he's a fighter by nature, so I think he's going to go down fighting. But he's playing more golf. I think he's already checked out mentally. I know damn well Melania has already checked out. She never even lived in the White House. So, guys, look, Donald Trump was not relieved when he got elected. He made the best of it, and he put up the show, and he really put effort into it. But, guys, the guy is an entertainer, he ran, guys, you can't apply to be an electrician and not be an electrician. Why? Because the job posting is for an electrician. You can't run to be a politician and not be a politician. Why? Because that's what the job entails. To form coalitions, to bring overall calmness, and to put in policy. Not to just go there and rip shit up and, go crazy. So guys, if you hire an electrician and they can't wire up your house, why hire them? So guys, you need a politician. It's just so he wasn't qualified to be that. He tried to be an entertainer while being a politician. And even if this was a conspiracy theory, guys, they played him because you have to play the game a little bit. That's what the job is. Edith, hello all. Edith, we love you. We missed you last night. Tony, having no coffee sucks big time. I hate Dunkin' too. Their coffee sucks double time. I agree. Coconuts, market up huge today. Joe Biden saved America. All-time high, brother. But we have to tie the stock market to a shared dividend for every citizen in this country. Why? Because 50% of Americans don't have any equity in the stock market. No 401k, no individual stocks. And if we brag about the stock market going to all-time highs under Joe Biden, but we didn't thank Trump for doing it, and Trump didn't thank Obama for doing it, because remember, Obama brought the stock market to an all-time high, and Trump said he did a horrible job, and Donald Trump did the same thing. So we can't keep repeating this pattern of patting ourselves on the back solely based on the stock market. That's a part of it. We should be encouraged by that, but we should also look to get a shared dividend for all citizens off the stock market. Why? Because when everyone has equity in the game, everyone believes in the United States. Because what I can tell you is this: when everyone actually believes and sees the tangible value of what America can do for its citizens, then they buy into the American dream. They buy into the American flag, and you don't have to force it down their throat. But when you treat people with disrespect and you say, oh, stock market's all-time high, and you don't realize 80% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, 50% have no stock market equity, it's a slap in the working class and poor people's face. And so we have to remember that not just when Trump is in office, but when Biden's in office, because that's a serious problem with America. And we need to reform that for the good of America, for the good of its citizens, for the good of the working and middle class, poor, Asian, white, black, Latino, everyone. Why? Because guys, we all should have some skin in the game. And if the taxpayers subsidize the stock market to bring it up, which it did during the coronavirus, why shouldn't we also get a reward for when it goes up? It's a mutual relationship. It's a reciprocal relationship. A controlling relationship is there's a giver and a taker. And when the stock market just takes from the country, and you say, well, how's it taking from the country? It's the free market. It's not the free market when the Federal Reserve injects itself, when you have stimulus, and when you have other artificial things that stimulate the stock market. It's not natural. It's artificial, and that's fine. That's a game. But if we're playing the game, you have to keep, just like Monopoly knew that you have to give everyone $200 just for pass and go, just for showing up. Why? Because it keeps the game going. Someone's got to rent from Baltic Place, okay? Look, the smart, big, successful people, they're going to be on Park Avenue, okay? I'm going to be there. But the poor people have to be able to rent a place at Baltic Avenue and get Dunkin' Donuts. So you got to give them at least $200 to pass go, okay? Now, that's the bottom line, guys. All right? Good job. Edith, love you too. I love you very much, Edith. You're going to sell a lot of cars this year. Tony, Sam, when I play, I sweat like Barry White. It's serious, guys. Barry White died in JFK Hospital in Edison, New Jersey. Look it up. I think he did, right? So I know that hospital. I know that area. I know Barry White. Edith, the automakers have had their largest profit since July because they are not overproducing. I noticed that. That's an excellent comment, Edith, because I've been looking at the hybrids and the electric vehicles and the regular cars too, and the inventory is very low. Why? Because again, I think they want to have low overhead, very efficient in uncertain times, and that keeping prices up as well. They're not overproducing inventory. I definitely noticed that. COVID shut down limited production. Yep, I noticed that in the car market and RV market. So it's a double part thing. It's a seller's market right now. Very true. Excellent comment. Tony, Sam, you need Gatorade, brother. I drank Gatorade when I played ball. Not anymore. Damn it, Gail. $10 super chat, Gail. I could tell you this, Gail. Thank you, and thank you. And what I could tell you is this, Gail. When you head down, I plan, okay, to put something in your PayPal account. So I don't want to make any promises and then let you down. But everyone, I want you to go to Gail Arnold's channel, Subscribe, and when she takes her trip down to Florida, she got her PayPal link in her description. Give her a tip. Get a Starbucks on me, Gail. Thank you. I appreciate your reciprocal love and vice versa. You know that. And I appreciate all that you do on YouTube. You're up to 400, and I think last time I looked, 43 subscribers, 443. Why? Because she does upload somewhat regularly, and she tags her videos living in a car. And so more consistent, the more subscribers, the more views. And in my opinion, I had a goal for Gail to get her to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. But at the very latest, by the end of next year, not only are we going to have the vaccine in full population, I think Gail's going to have 1,000 subscribers. I think Gail is going to have a monetized channel. Now, is it going to be much money? No. But anything is better than nothing. Having some equity in the game, having some incentive to upload videos and to share is a blessing. And those who put effort should be rewarded. So Gail, with gratitude and humility, I say thank you for that gracious tip. I want to show reciprocal love, and I know we have, and I appreciate you and all that you do. Love to you. Never forget the cold winters, Gail. You take your time, you be safe, you do what you want. Don't feel pressured to live up to my expectations. Don't feel pressured to live up to the YouTube expectations. Now, I don't know if you noticed, Gail, your last video, you took the comments off. I said, uh-oh, did Gail have someone trolling her? Or maybe you didn't realize, Gail, don't mark your videos for children only. Mark your videos for those 18 and older. Why? Because you're not making a children's channel, and it's not going to cause any negative effect by saying 18 or older. But when you mark it for children only, the comments usually get turned off and you can't minimize the screen. So you may have not noticed that, but I noticed that in your last video. Unless you had a troll and then you took off the comments, I understand why. But what I can tell you, Gail, is you're doing a great job. Thank you again. Thank you, everyone who watched tonight. I hope my video in some way helped you out, encouraged you, inspired you. Gangster Talk, thank you again for that gracious super chat as well. Upscale, you know I appreciate you, man. South Florida in the building strong. All my Nomad strong. Stretch, I'm so proud of you working 2 jobs. You got a great attitude. You're going to do great things. Fred, a longtime supporter, was there for me when I was at a low point in New Jersey. I'll never forget it, brother. You're a good man. Tony, you already know what it is. I'm sorry you're going through that stuff with the saxophone. Thankful you have insurance. And remember, if you see that psychopath in the street with your sax, don't even do anything. Why? Because you got the insurance money. Don't go to jail. Love to you, brother. And Edith, you're selling a lot of cars. You're a smart woman. You did a good job raising your son. Now it's time for you to live your life. Coconut Dreams, damn it, you've been a huge supporter. I hope Tesla goes up the roof for you. I hope your tax rate stays low. The Republicans are in the Senate. So that's the good thing, brother. I want the tax rates to stay low. Why? Guys, we've been in deficit for a long time. No reason to raise taxes. Let the fucking deficit keep going up. Love to you, Coconut Dreams. I want you to be very rich. And now that the vaccine's back, New York City may be back. I think I got to everyone. Gail, thank you again for that graciousness. I don't normally. It was a mistake. That's okay. The bottom line is you uploaded a video. So anytime you do something, mistakes will happen. So a mistake is a good thing. I want everyone to remember that, because when you make mistakes, it shows you're doing something. Now, obviously, you want to learn, and that's the only reason I pointed it out, just so you're aware of it, so you know to mark your videos for adults only or not to do that. But if you want to turn them off, turn them off. But I made so many mistakes, and even now I still make mistakes when I upload. But it's through consistency. It's through showing up even when you're embarrassed. It's through not quitting even when you have a disagreement at work. It's through the consistent effort that you persevere and reach your goals. Is life still a dookie stain? Yes. Is there still a disaster out there? Yes. But life is better when you keep it moving. Life is better when you keep showing up. Why? Because the opposite is to do nothing and to be idle and to sit down, and the world beats you up even worse. Your mental health gets even worse. Your physical health gets even worse. So even though you're going to feel some pain in making mistakes, it's better to do than not do. Okay, just try to use wisdom. Try to use past experience. Try to mitigate your risk and keep good people around you. All right, guys and girls, gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Why? When you have a good attitude, it's just a little bit better. Not perfect, but better. Thank you.